Hi guys, I know I've been gone for a while, and I've got some explaining to do if I'm gonna be coming back here and, creating content. Um, I have over 1,100 subscribers, which is amazing. I'm surprised so many are still subscribed to my channel with how long I've been gone, and then I just cropped back up posting VODs from Twitch like I've been here the whole time, and this isn't new or anything, but let me explain. Up and just disappeared from YouTube back in 2019. I didn't even post the last episode to a series I was working on, and there's a reason for that. Hey, the video was finished. It was edited and ready to be uploaded, but somewhere between exporting from my computer and uploading to YouTube, shit got fucked. Just put it simply. The file got corrupted and was unusable, and I didn't have the time or patience to go back and edit it again. For those of you who don't know, I was going to school for information technology at the time as well. So it was a toss-up between work on this or work on schoolwork. And I chose my schoolwork. And when that happened, I just kind of was like, you know what? This is a sign. I need to step away from YouTube and focus on my education for the time being. And then when I started focusing on my education, I realized, oh, this school thinks my education is a joke. They were yanking me around, and just in order to get any kind of communication from my instructors, I always had to go to the dean of the school to get answers. And it just felt like it wasn't being taken seriously, so I ended up dropping that, unfortunately. And then, also in 2019, Ame, for those of you who remember, my kitty cat, had a stroke. He's okay. He recovered fine, but it was very stressful, and I ended up not going to work that day because I rushed him to the vet, and it's like, well, really all you can do is let him rest, and I needed something to do while he was just resting on the couch, not moving. And so I was like, okay, you know what? I've been scrolling through TikTok. I've been wanting to do TikTok for a long time. And I started posting on TikTok. I started doing content with my vampire character that was modeled after my character in Vampire the Masquerade that I played in high school with a bunch of friends. And so I just started uploading on there, and I was having a lot of fun with that, and I made friends, and I met my boyfriend, Boyo Beneath. Throw his icon up there. I have a new editing software. Let's see if I can figure this shit out. So yeah, a lot's happened. Boyo and I met via TikTok. I was invited to the roleplay group that he was a part of. I was like, I've never roleplayed before. I'll check it out. Not my thing. Definitely not my thing. But I met Boyo through it, and yeah, we found out that we only lived an hour away from each other, so we met up, and we've been together ever since. It's been 3 years. So that's been fun. COVID was a thing. Got that. That was great. Had that for a week. Thank God it was only a week. And then I was still in there were some weird things happening. Oh yeah, I moved somewhere in there too. After meeting Boyo, before getting COVID, I moved. Just throwing that in there. But after getting COVID, I felt really achy, particularly in my neck and my upper back. But it wasn't enough that I was super concerned. It was enough that I told my primary care physician about it. I was like, it's more annoying than it is anything, but it's not killing me. And so we didn't do anything about it. And then that was the beginning of February of last year. And by the end of February, I was like, okay, I'm still experiencing some pain, very uncomfy. Again, not killing me, but something needs to be done. So I went to a chiropractor. That was a mistake. I've never been a fan of chiropractors. But I felt okay after the alignment. You know, the chiropractor was like, you know, he did x-rays and he was like, oh, you've got slight scoliosis in your lower back, but the curvature of your neck is perfect. Okay, cool. Does the alignment. And before doing the alignment, he was like, oh yeah, we can get you on like a treatment plan. We'll get you in here every so often to keep your neck straight, to keep everything straightened out, and da-da-da-da-da. And then after the alignment, they could not get me out of this office fast enough. And they didn't reschedule anything. And that was on a Monday, and by Friday, I was in so much pain that I couldn't walk. Like, Boyo had to assist me around the house, just getting from the bed to the couch and whatnot. It was awful. And I called the chiropractor's office that Friday and was told he's not available and that he will call me on Monday. I still have not heard from this chiropractor. So I went to my primary care, told them what happened. They gave me a shot for the pain, a shot for the inflammation, set me on my way. And I was feeling better, except that I got hit with one of the worst migraines I've ever had in my life. It actually presented with an aura, which is very rare for me. And I thought I was going blind for a moment because like I couldn't see in like the bottom left corner of my vision at all. And after sitting and drinking some coffee for a little bit, I realized, oh, it's an aura. Cool, I'm gonna be knocked on my ass within the next 15 minutes to half an hour. Sure enough, 15 minutes passed and I was in so much pain, I was throwing up. It was awful. And so yeah, like, you know, they did the shots and I was feeling better. And then we fast forward to the beginning of March. Yes. And like 4 days into March, we're coming up the stairs. We live on the 3rd floor. We're coming up the stairs and I get a sharp pain through my knee, my good knee. And I fall. And Boyo has to carry me up the last half of the stair, the last half landing of stairs. And I was on the couch all weekend with ice wrapped around my knee. And I was just in pain. And I suffered through it for like 4 days, and then Boyo was like, okay, we're going to urgent care. Something's not right here. We're going to urgent care. So we went to urgent care. And that doctor told me that he thought it was a blood clot, but they didn't have the equipment they needed to test for a blood clot, and sent me to the emergency room. We relay this to the emergency room doctor, who tells him he's an idiot. He didn't tell the guy he was an idiot. He told us that the guy was an idiot because it's certainly not a blood clot. We'll do the test anyway just to give you peace of mind, but I can assure you it's not a blood clot. So they did the ultrasound on my leg, which felt really weird, and informed me that I did not have a blood clot. Surprise! So that was fun. And they looked at my knee, they did x-rays and everything, and they're like, there's too much inflammation, we can't tell what's wrong. Like, okay, cool. So they sent me to an orthopedic doctor. He does x-rays, runs some tests, looks at my knee and goes, there's too much inflammation. We can't tell what's going on. Here's a steroid pack. And within the first day of taking the steroid pack, I felt amazing. Like my knee stopped hurting. It wasn't anywhere near as swollen. Everything was good. And then we hit the end of the steroid pack. Literally the last day of the steroid pack, and I'm out walking dogs, because I walk dogs for a living now. That's fun. Let me just insert that in there somewhere. But I'm out walking one of my dogs. My phone's in my pocket, so I'm not distracted on my phone or anything. I'm focused on the dog that I'm walking. She's a good 3-4 feet ahead of me. And suddenly I just fall. I didn't trip over anything. I just fell straight down. Like someone had a string holding me up, cut it, and I just dropped straight down. I didn't even try to catch myself. And so, of course, I went back to the orthopedic and was like, okay, so here's what happened. And, you know, it was a few days before I was able to get to the orthopedic after that event happened. So I started feeling worse, and the inflammation came back, and like my knee was hurting so bad that I couldn't even walk, even with a knee brace on. And he looks at my knee again. He goes, "There's still too much swelling. We can't tell what's going on." So he puts me on another steroid pack. This one does nothing. I'm still in significant amount of pain. There's still a bunch of inflammation. It's awful. He refers me back to my PCP because he can't figure out what's going on. So the PCP is going, okay, I'm not sure what's going on either, but I have an idea. And to confirm it, we're going to refer you out to a rheumatologist. Well, the rheumatologist they referred me to never called me. And when I called them, without even asking for my name or my insurance or anything, the girl tells me that my insurance isn't in their network or whatever, and hangs up on me. I'm like, okay, so I get referred to another rheumatologist. He can't get me in until September. So from March to September, I was in so much pain all the time. It wasn't just my knees, wasn't just my neck. It was like from the base of my skull all the way down to my tailbone. My knees were like creepy. Arthritic is the best way to describe how my knees felt. Arthritic. Mind you, I'm only 31 years old. So I finally get in to this rheumatologist. And I'm talking with him, and I'm going over my symptoms with him. I'm like, and I've got this weird thing going on with one of my toes. The middle toe is swollen, but just the base of the toe. The rest of it's fine. And he looks at my toe and he goes, a Vienna sausage. I'm just like, motherfucker, do not refer to my toes as Vienna sausages, please. Not important though. But he's like, yeah, that basically confirms my suspicion. I'm gonna send you across the street to get some blood work and x-rays done, and I'll see you next week. I'm like, okay, cool. So, go get that done. It was very convenient. It was literally across the street. And I got them both done and knocked out of the way. And he calls me before we even have our next appointment the following week. And he's like, yeah, so my suspicions are confirmed. You have a genetic disease called ankylosing spondylitis. It's an autoinflammatory disease, and basically it means your spinal column is pissed off and inflamed for the sake of being pissed off and inflamed, and that inflammation is touching nerves along your spinal column, causing pain and inflammation in other parts of your body, i.e. my knees or that one random toe. Holy shit. I tested positive for the HLA-B27 gene, and that was the marker they needed to confirm his diagnosis. So, fun. Yeah. So, it is not curable, but if we get on the right treatment plan, we can get to near remission status. They started me on Enbrel. That didn't go well. Turns out I'm allergic to it. But then they put me on Cimzia, and I hit that 12-week mark of being on Cimzia, where they said 60% of patients start feeling relief. And by God, did I start feeling so much better. Like, I feel better than I have in roughly 2 years. So that's good. And I'm starting to get the energy and motivation to create content again, which is why I've been streaming so much on Twitch. And I was like, you know what? I want to go back to YouTube and posting content for YouTube. So I started posting the VODs over there on over here. Directions. I know where I am. No, I don't. That's another downfall of this. It apparently affects my memory, which is great. Downside of the meds that I'm on. Great that I'm feeling better. Downside is I am now officially immunocompromised. So, that's fun. But I'm starting to feel better. I'm starting to feel like myself again. And I'm wanting to make content. And I'm pushing myself to sit down and make content now. Because that's what I want to do. On top of walking dogs for a living. Because that's just fun. I enjoy that. am so lucky that I was able to start walking dogs for a living. Like, I didn't think it would take off, and then it did. And my clients have been absolutely wonderful and amazing and so understanding during all of this. And they're very in the loop of what's going on with my health and whatnot. And so happy that they're so understanding. Like, I had a few who were like, okay, well, this is very inconvenient, so we're gonna go with a different walker, but we hope that you get the help that you need and you feel better soon. So, I understand. You can't always wait around for someone to feel like they're able to do the job they're supposed to be doing. I get that. I would not be able to work a normal 9-to-5 job with all of this going on. And the more I learn about it, because I joined a support group for ankylosing spondylitis, and I'm learning from other people who are suffering with this disease. I'm like, oh, I've had this my whole life. This isn't just now starting. This is something I've always had. And it was never enough that we noticed it. We think that there's not enough data to correlate, but we think that me having gotten COVID triggered the full onset. But we think that my migraines that I've had ever since I was a kid could be related. The tinnitus that I have that we thought was congenital, and I made the joke of, oh, my birth was so traumatic, I got tinnitus. Turns out that could have been caused by the AS as well. And it's like, oh, that makes sense. So, we're just learning as we go here. It's great. But my main point here is I'm feeling better, and I want to start making content again on all the different platforms. I want to stream on Twitch. I want to make content for YouTube. I want to go back to making content for TikTok. And, just be myself again, because I miss that so much. Like, I'm a creative person. I like creating things. But when I feel like shit, boy, do I feel like shit. Like, the most creative thing I had been able to do for a while of going through all of this was a coloring book. My boyo got me a Evolutions coloring book, and that has been getting me through this I need to create, but I don't know what to create. I don't have the energy to create anything big, that kind of thing. So, yeah, that's a thing. So, look forward to seeing more from me over here on YouTube and hopefully on TikTok soon. I have days mentally scheduled to sit down and work on different things. Whether or not I stick to that is another story, so we'll see what happens. But for all of you who stuck around, all 1,100 plus of you, plus the new ones that have been filtering in over the past couple of months, thank you for being here. And I appreciate so much that you're all here. Yeah. I'm just happy to be feeling good again. And yeah, I think that's all I got. Is that all I have? I have a mermaid tail now. Because I am a nerd, and all I wanted as a child was to be a fucking mermaid, and now I am. It's great. I'm sorry, I'm in chaos gremlin mode. It's fine. So I'm going to get off of here before I go any more insane, and I will see you all later. And I miss doing my old outro. I kind of hate that I don't do it on Twitch, so I'm just gonna bring that back. Remember to do something nice for a stranger today. It just might save a life. Bye!